Isaac Newton, the father of modern physics, the man who defined gravity and revolutionized mathematics, spent more time studying alchemy than he did on the work that made him famous. When his private papers were finally examined centuries after his death, scholars discovered something shocking. Over 1 million words written on alchemical experiments, all attempting to decode a single ancient text, the Emerald Tablet. This wasn't the pursuit of gold. Newton understood that the tablet contained something far more valuable, a formula for understanding the fundamental structure of reality itself. He wasn't alone. Roger Bacon, Albertus Magnus, Paracelsus, Carl Jung, some of history's greatest minds became obsessed with 13 words carved on a mysterious green stone, allegedly discovered in the tomb of Hermes Trismegistus himself. That which is below corresponds to that which is above, and that which is above corresponds to that which is below, to accomplish the miracle of the one thing. What miracle? What one thing? Why have brilliant minds across 2,000 years believed these words contain the secret to transmutation, not just of metals, but of consciousness, circumstance, and reality? Today we decode the Emerald Tablet completely, not as historical curiosity, but as practical spiritual science. Because once you truly understand what these words mean, you possess the master key to manifestation, healing, and transformation. The alchemist encoded their greatest wisdom in symbols to protect it from those who would misuse it. But for those ready to understand, the door is opening. According to legend, the Emerald Tablet was discovered by Alexander the Great in the tomb of Hermes Trismegistus in the 4th century BCE. Others say it was found by Sarah, wife of Abraham, in the cave of Machpelah. Still others claim Apollonius of Tyana discovered it in an underground chamber beneath a statue of Hermes. The historical truth is more complex and perhaps more interesting. The earliest known version appears in an 8th century Arabic text called the Kitab Sir al-Halika, or Book of the Secret of Creation, attributed to Balikas, likely a reference to Apollonius. From Arabic, it was translated into Latin in the 12th century, becoming the foundation text of European alchemy. But the ideas contained within are far older. Egyptian priests practiced transmutation, both metallurgical and spiritual, for thousands of years before the tablet's supposed discovery. The core axiom, as above, so below, appears in various forms throughout ancient mystery traditions, from Babylon to India. The Emerald Tablet, then, is not the origin of these ideas, but their distillation, a crystallization of timeless wisdom into its most essential form. The choice of emerald as the medium is significant. In ancient Egypt, emerald represented eternal life, rebirth, and fertility. The green stone was sacred to Thoth and associated with the regenerative powers of nature. Symbolically, emerald corresponds to the heart chakra, the center where lower and higher energies meet, where matter and spirit unite. The tablet's message is carved on the very substance that represents transformation and union. Some traditions claim the original tablet still exists, hidden in a secret chamber beneath the Sphinx or in underground vaults accessible only to initiates. Whether literal or allegorical, the symbolism is clear. This knowledge exists in a hidden dimension, accessible only to consciousness prepared to receive it. The complete tablet, in its most common Latin translation, tabula smaragdina, contains approximately 13 to 14 lines, depending on the version. But the core teaching, the part that has captivated minds for millennia, can be distilled to 13 essential words in English. As above, so below. As within, so without. As the universe, so the soul. This is the master key. Everything else in the tablet elaborates on this principle.
Let's examine the full text, section by section, and unlock what the alchemists knew.
The opening declaration. True, without falsehood, certain and most true. The tablet opens with an emphatic assertion of truth. Why this emphasis? Because what follows will sound impossible to the uninitiated mind. The author anticipates skepticism and addresses it immediately. This is not metaphor. This is not allegory. This is precise description of how reality operates. The central axiom. That which is below corresponds to that which is above, and that which is above corresponds to that which is below, to accomplish the miracle of the one thing. Here it is, the most famous line in esoteric literature. But what does it actually mean? On the surface level, it describes correspondence between different planes of existence. The microcosm, universe, mirrors the microcosm, human. The celestial realm mirrors the terrestrial realm, and the spiritual dimension mirrors the physical dimension. But this isn't just poetic observation, this is operational law. If the pattern repeating across all scales is identical, then by mastering one scale, you master all scales. By understanding your inner cosmos, you understand the outer cosmos. By transforming your consciousness, you transform your circumstances. This is why ancient mystery schools focused on know thyself, not as philosophy, but as practical method. You don't need to study the stars to understand celestial law. You can study your own psyche. The same principles apply. The miracle of the one thing refers to the singular source from which multiplicity emerges. All apparent diversity, all the forms, forces, and phenomena of existence originate from one primordial substance, one universal consciousness, one ultimate reality. The miracle is that the one becomes many without ceasing to be one, and the many can reunite with the one without losing their apparent individuality. The process of creation. And just as all things came from the one, through the meditation of one, so do all created things originate from this one thing through transformation. This describes emanation, the Hermetic understanding of how creation occurs. Notice, through the meditation of one. The universe is not mechanically constructed, but mentally conceived. Creation is an act of consciousness. The divine mind meditates, contemplates, imagines. And from that focused awareness, reality crystallizes into form. Through transformation is crucial. Creation is not ex nihilo, from nothing, but transmutation. The one thing transforms itself into infinite expressions. Matter is frozen spirit. Energy is condensed consciousness. Physical reality is thought made dense. The alchemist's work is to reverse this process, to take dense matter, whether physical lead or heavy consciousness, and refine it back to its source, spiritual gold, enlightened awareness, unity with the one. The cosmic parents. Its father is the sun. Its mother is the moon. Here we enter pure alchemical symbolism. The sun represents masculine principle, active, projecting, conscious. Sulfur in alchemy, the fiery, volatile, transformative force. Spirit, the animating consciousness. The moon represents feminine principle, receptive, magnetic, subconscious. Mercury in alchemy, the fluid, adaptable, reflective substance. Soul, the vehicle through which spirit operates in matter. Creation requires both, masculine will plus feminine imagination, conscious intention plus subconscious acceptance. Spirit plus soul equals embodied reality.
This is the secret of manifestation that modern law of attraction teachings often miss. You need both the solar force of directed will and the lunar force of emotional embodiment. Thought alone changes nothing. Feeling alone is directionless. United, they create. The gestation. Its father is the sun, its mother is the moon. The wind carried it in its belly, the earth is its nurse. Wind represents the invisible realm, the etheric, the space between, the field of potentiality. Before anything manifests physically, it exists as vibration, as energy pattern, as wave function in the quantum field. This is the gestation period. The seed of creation is carried in the invisible womb of possibility, developing, organizing, gathering force. Earth as nurse means that physical reality nurtures and sustains what has been born from spirit. Matter is not the enemy of spirit, but its caretaker, its teacher, its school. This overturns the false dichotomy that plagued later religious thinking, the idea that spirit is good and matter is evil. In Hermetic understanding, matter is sacred because it is spirit made tangible. Earth is holy because it is where consciousness evolves through experience. The completion. This is the father of all perfection in the world. What is this? The understanding that above and below are one. The recognition that all creation comes from one source through transformation. The marriage of solar will and lunar imagination carried by wind and nursed by earth. This process, this understanding, is the father, origin, source, cause, of all perfection, completion, accomplishment, mastery in the world. Once you grasp this, you possess the key to every art, every science, every achievement. The power unleashed. Its power is integral if it is turned to earth. Here is the practical application. This knowledge remains theoretical until turned to earth, until applied to physical reality, embodied in action, made concrete through practice. The power becomes integral only through manifestation. Spiritual insight must incarnate. Knowledge must become wisdom through application. This is why mysticism without action remains fantasy, and action without consciousness remains mechanical. The tablet teaches their union.
Level 1. Universal correspondence. The law of correspondence means that the same patterns repeat everywhere. Let's examine specific examples. In structure, atoms orbit nuclei like planets orbit suns. The branching of trees mirrors the branching of rivers, lungs, and neural networks. The spiral of a nautilus shell mirrors the spiral of a galaxy. The structure of a single cell mirrors the organization of entire organisms. This isn't coincidence. This is one intelligence expressing itself through one pattern at infinite scales. Practical application. When facing a problem at one scale, look for the solution at another scale. How does nature solve this problem in trees, in cells, in ecosystems? The answer applies to your situation because the pattern is universal. Level 2. Microcosm and macrocosm. Ancient astrology understood this principle precisely. The positions of celestial bodies don't cause terrestrial events through physical force. Rather, celestial patterns and terrestrial patterns synchronize because they're expressions of the same underlying cosmic order. As above, that is, the planetary configurations, corresponds to so below, that is, human psychology, social events, and natural cycles. The human body itself is structured as a microcosmic universe.
7 major chakras correspond to 7 classical planets. 12 cranial nerves correspond to 12 zodiac signs. The spine is the axis mundi, the world tree, the channel connecting heaven and earth. Practical application. By understanding your inner energetic anatomy, you understand cosmic forces. By balancing your chakras, you align with planetary harmonies. By mastering your inner elements, fire, water, air, earth, you harmonize with external elements. Level 3. Consciousness and reality. This is where it gets revolutionary. If as above, so below is true, and if consciousness is above, that is causal, primary, while matter is below, that is effect, then consciousness shapes matter. Not metaphorically, literally. Your inner state, thoughts, beliefs, emotions, assumptions, corresponds to your outer state, circumstances, relationships, health, resources. Change the inner, and the outer must correspond. This is not positive thinking superficiality. This is understanding that you are a microcosmic creator within the macrocosmic creation. The same laws that allow divine mind to create universes allow human mind to create experiences. Practical application. The Hermetic manifestation process. Step 1. Clarify the above. Define precisely what you want to manifest. Not vague wishes, but clear mental image. The clearer your inner vision, above, the more precisely it can manifest below. Step 2. Embody the feeling. Feel what it would feel like to already possess it. Not desperate wanting, which creates more wanting, but satisfied having. Emotion is the lunar force that gestates the solar seed of intention. Step 3. Release to the wind. Let it go into the invisible realm to gestate. Obsessive checking, doubting, forcing prevents natural unfoldment. Trust the process. The wind carries it in its belly. Step 4. Take earthly action. When inspired action arises, take it. The earth nurses what the wind carries. Your physical actions in alignment with your inner vision complete the circuit. Step 5. Recognize correspondence. Watch for synchronicities, opportunities, and resources that align with your vision. These are the above manifesting as below. What you seek is simultaneously seeking you. Level 4. The healing principle. If your body, below, corresponds to your consciousness, above, then healing consciousness heals the body. This isn't denial of physical medicine, but recognition of its incompleteness. Treating symptoms, below, without addressing consciousness, above, addresses effect without cause. Ancient healing systems, Egyptian, Chinese, Ayurvedic, all understood this. Disease begins in energetic, mental, emotional bodies before manifesting physically. By the time symptoms appear, the imbalance has already descended through multiple levels. Practical application. When facing illness, ask, what thought pattern corresponds to this physical pattern? What emotion is this organ expressing? What belief is this symptom reflecting? Not as blame, but as insight. The body is a mirror showing you what's happening in consciousness. Read the message, change the pattern above, and watch the pattern below transform.
The danger of premature knowledge. The emerald tablet ends with a warning. Therefore I am called Hermes Trismegistus, having the 3 parts of the philosophy of the world. That which I had to say about the operation of the sun is completed. Having the 3 parts of philosophy means mastery of 3 realms: physical, mental, spiritual. Thrice great. Only those who have achieved this integration can safely wield the knowledge.
Why safely? Because if as above truly equals so below, then consciousness truly shapes reality, and an unmastered consciousness creates chaos. An undisciplined mind manifesting unconsciously is dangerous to self and others. This is why mystery schools had multi-year initiations, not to hoard knowledge, but to ensure the vessel, consciousness, was prepared to hold the power, knowledge, without shattering. The tablet was encoded in alchemical language specifically to conceal it from those seeking power over others. The power is only over self. Those lacking patience for inner work. No shortcuts exist. Those unwilling to develop moral character. Power without ethics is destruction. Who truly understood? The Egyptian priesthood. They didn't need the tablet because they possessed the living tradition. The tablet is their knowledge crystallized for preservation. Islamic alchemists, figures like Jaber ibn Hayyan or Geber and al-Razi, understood that physical alchemy and spiritual alchemy were one science. Their laboratory experiments were simultaneously inner psychological work. Medieval European alchemists. Despite the Inquisition, mystics like Albertus Magnus and Roger Bacon preserved and transmitted this wisdom, disguised as primitive chemistry. Isaac Newton. His public physics and private alchemy were not separate pursuits, but one unified quest to understand divine law operating at all scales. His famous quote, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants," refers to Hermes and the ancient masters. Carl Jung. He recognized alchemy as a sophisticated map of psychological transformation. His concept of individuation, the integration of conscious and unconscious, is alchemical transformation described in modern terms. Quantum physicists. Without knowing it, they've encountered the Emerald Tablet's teaching. The observer effect. Consciousness shapes observation, is as above, so below. Quantum entanglement. Distant particles instantly correlated, is correspondence across space. The unified field theories. All forces as expressions of one force is the one thing. The encoded wisdom in plain sight. Once you understand the principle, you see it everywhere. In Christianity, on earth as it is in heaven, is direct correspondence principle. In Buddhism, samsara is nirvana, means the worldly realm and enlightened realm are not separate, but two perspectives on one reality. In Hinduism, Atman is Brahman, means individual soul equals universal soul. Microcosm equals macrocosm. In Kabbalah, the tree of life shows correspondence between divine emanations above and material world below. In Taoism, the yin-yang symbol shows how opposites are one, how heaven, yang, and earth, yin, interpenetrate. The wisdom never disappeared. It simply took different forms across cultures, protecting itself through diversity. The contemporary alchemist. You don't need a laboratory filled with retorts and alembics. You don't need secret initiation into hidden orders. The modern alchemical laboratory is your consciousness. The great work is your daily life. The lead you're transmuting into gold isn't metal. It's unconscious reactivity to conscious response. Victim mentality to creator mentality. Separation consciousness to unity consciousness. Fear-based living to love-based living. Finite identity to infinite nature. This is the real Philosopher's Stone, the consciousness that transmutes everything it touches. Practical daily practice. Morning. Set the above. Before engaging the world below, establish your inner state above. How do you want to feel today? What quality of consciousness do you choose? Set this internally first. The day will correspond. Throughout, recognize correspondence. Notice how your inner state correlates with outer circumstances. When you're peaceful within, situations resolve peacefully. When you're conflicted within, conflicts arise externally. This isn't punishment, it's a mirror. Reality is showing you yourself. Reality is not punishing you, it is revealing you. Evening. Read the below to understand the above. Review your day. What did you experience? What patterns appeared? Your external experiences reveal your internal patterns. Instead of blaming circumstances, decode the message. What is life teaching you about yourself? Continuous, conscious creation. You're always creating. The question is, consciously or unconsciously? With every thought, belief, and emotion, you're setting patterns in the above that must manifest in the below. Create deliberately. The ultimate secret. Here's what the Emerald Tablet ultimately reveals. There is no separation between you and reality. You're not in the universe is in you. You're not subject to universal laws. You are universal law, localizing as individual consciousness. The same intelligence that orbits planets breathes through your lungs. The same force that grows trees grows your hair. The same consciousness that dreams universes is dreaming your life right now. As above, so below means, as God is to universe, so are you to your experience. You are the creator of your world, not your ego, but your deepest consciousness, that awareness behind your thoughts, that presence before your identity, that infinite space in which all experience appears. The Emerald Tablet isn't giving you new information, it's reminding you what you've always been. The divine principle expressing itself as individual human experience, temporarily pretending to be separate so it can experience reunion. Temporarily forgetting so it can remember. Temporarily sleeping so it can awaken. 13 words, one principle, infinite applications. As above, so below isn't ancient philosophy. It's an operating manual for reality. It's a user's guide for consciousness. It's a map for the great work of transformation. The alchemists weren't trying to make gold, they were trying to become gold, to refine their consciousness to such purity that divinity could shine through unobstructed. You have the same goal, even if you use different language. And you have the same tool, understanding that your inner world creates your outer world, that consciousness shapes experience, that mastering yourself is mastering reality. The Emerald Tablet was never lost. You've been carrying it within you all along. Every time you've noticed your thoughts affecting your mood, you've seen it. Every time you've changed your perspective and watched your circumstances shift, you've proven it. Every time you've manifested something by first imagining it clearly, you've used it. Now you know what you've been doing. The miracle of the one thing is complete when you realize you are that one thing, temporarily experiencing itself as many things, forever playing the cosmic game of losing yourself to find yourself, hiding from yourself to seek yourself, forgetting so you can remember. Welcome home, Alchemist. The great work continues. This is knowledge of the all. The transformation has just begun.